In today's video, you're going to learn about the process of selling a roofing company to the equity firm. There are a lot of equity firms on the market right now, and not all of them are equal. A lot of them are actually pretty bad. So you have to interview equity firms just like they interviewing you. I'm sitting down with Ty Meredith from Vertex Acquisitions. Ty is a close friend of mine. I know Ty for many, many years. He actually sold his company to the equity firm, and now he works for one. I'm gonna put his information on roofinginsights.com. If you need my help to sell your business, go to dmitrylupinski.com or roofinginsights.com, or comment below if you have any questions for me or Ty. Enjoy the interview. Congrats on selling your company, MHI Roofing. How long have you been in business before you sold?
So I bought the company from my uncle in 2011.
Okay.
He was just doing about $500,000 in business, and then we grew it over the last 12 years here.
How big was the company when you sold it?
Only about 16 million.
16 million.
Yeah.
So how many offers did you get from private equity firms?
So many. I mean, we went through dozens of different options.
Really?
And met with, we probably met and really heard what they had to say to about 7 to 10 of them.
7 to 10.
Yeah.
What was wrong? Why wouldn't you sell to those 7, 10? How can you describe, like, if you would categorize those equity firms in the marketplace who's trying to buy companies like yours?
Yep. So, you know, like a lot of companies, I was concerned about the culture that I've built. You know, I have friends, I have family working for me. So making sure that the future was in a good position for them, and that they were taken care of. That was my number one concern. Like I said, my cousins, my family works for me. John has become my close personal friend. So making sure that they were taken care of for the future was most important. And when you look at some of these options, they're just so consumed with bottom line and EBITDA and focused on that over the course of the 24 to 36 month period that they have those. You know, when we talk about, we call it Bloody Monday. Like they're slicing and dicing to make things more efficient, and that's not what I wanted for our company.
How do you explain this growth of equity firms coming to the roofing industry and all of a sudden, you know, start buying everyone, and, you know, we have so many equity firms and they're so aggressive. What happened in the past few years?
I think the industry, another industry, had so much success in the HVAC. They saw, like the company that bought us.
Also landscaping.
Company that bought us took 2 different HVA platforms to over $2 billion.
$2 billion.
Yeah. So the one Apex, Vertex took, not Vertex, but Alpine is the company that's backing Vertex. They took them from 30 million to 2.8 billion just in a 4.5 year period.
Wow.
So they see that this is the same type of industry.
They're like printing money there.
They have a $4.5 billion fund to grow this platform. Yeah, Vertex.
I had offers for the past 2-3 years. One of them was to be director, almost like a spokesperson or even CEO of equity firm, because I know the space, I know the players, and it's crazy.
It is. It's a unique world. So when we looked at it, we thought, we don't want that. We don't want to just be focused on the next 2 to 3 years. And then we found Vertex, which is completely different way of going about business.
What's so different about them?
So they're looking to grow the biggest, baddest roofing company that there ever was, and they don't ever plan on selling. Like, they're growing by 2030, their goal is to be a $5 billion company and growing beyond that. So it gave my people and future opportunities for growth. Whereas right now, if I were to grow at the 25% that we're continuing to grow, eventually maybe I get to 40, 50 million on the path that I'm at. But now we're going to be there in 24 to 30 months.
How many companies are in it already?
Already in at 12, and then we have 7 under LOI.
Who are bigger players?
Jason Eustace from Eustace Roofing. We have King Quality, JP Carroll, and then the big monster that started it all was Victor's Roofing.
Victor's was the first one?
Yeah, Victor was the first one. And we're learning a lot from Victor's already. We're in the Midwest, so the way they have it set up is Victor's the president of the Midwest, and we're a part of that. And the systems and processes and shared services that we now have at our disposal are endless. Like, for instance, my call center, they did an okay job, but not really what you needed to grow and take care of the leads properly. So now we use shared services. We'll use the corporate call center. We use the corporate HR, departments that we're not the best at. Now we can just focus on what we're good at. We're good on sales and we're good on production. So now we have access to the marketing that they do.
But everybody keeps the same name?
Yeah, everybody keeps their same name.
But you share back office?
You share back office, yeah. So they come into town, and where a lot of these private equities, like we had one that was calling us, they just bought a company in Pittsburgh, and they wanted to buy us too and buy another one, like just because they wanted to pad their numbers. When Vertex comes in, they buy MHI Roofing, and they're going to make it the biggest, baddest roofing company in Pittsburgh. And then they go into Detroit and make Victor's the biggest, baddest roofing company. So they're not buying multiple companies in an area. They're backing up the truck, so to speak, to MHI in each of our locations and growing it. So that gives my people just opportunities galore to grow.
So what else is different with their approach? What else do Vertex brings to the table besides just money?
Just from the support standpoint, from knowing that you're building something long-term. When you're building something short-term, how do you make decisions? How do you make decisions for your people? How do you make decisions on marketing, on where to spend money? Because you're short-term in that 24 to 36 months, because then you're gonna sell to somebody else. But when you have a long-term approach and you're building for the future, you make decisions differently. You hire differently. Before I even closed, I hired 2 new people in my company. Just a couple days ago, they said, here's what's going to happen with the marketing. You're going to get this many leads now because we did this, this, and this, because they have proven track record. What do you need? We said, well, we need 5 trucks for this and we need 5 trucks for that. So they said, buy the 5 trucks, get them wrapped, and then we'll wire the money over. Like they're just growing these companies as opposed to short-sightedness of trying to flip quick and just consume.
How long did it take you to close from the moment you first time was approached to closing the deal?
Exactly at 60 days.
60 days?
Yeah.
Is that pretty common?
No. Well, from the other companies that I talked to, they were saying anywhere between 90 and 120 days for the process. They want to close quick. They want to get your information and close quick. Every single time that they've closed a deal so far, the exact amount that you were offered in the beginning in your LOI, it's landed on that number. They don't negotiate things down. I'll tell you straight up, my EBITDA was a slightly less after they did all these adjustments, but they held true to their original offer and didn't try to adjust it.
How many companies are not getting bought because they don't have the right EBITDA, the books are messed up,
Yeah.
They don't have what they need to have in place?
Oh, a lot. So we're focused on retail. So we have lots of conversations with guys who might be 70% storm and 30% retail, and they don't have the proper mix, or maybe they're mostly commercial. We're focusing on a specific criteria, and that's retail roofers, and that needs to be your predominant business. If you do siding, great, if you do that, but your predominant business needs to be roofing, and it needs to be retail. So there's guys out there that are trying to help these middle-of-the-road companies get to the point of sale, and that could be beneficial to people. But what our team is doing, I have a fractional CFO that I can send into your company and help you get your books to exactly how these private equity companies want to see them, because it took us some time to do that.
Now you know the space a little bit better. Give advice to contractor who may be shopping for equity firm to be sold to. What to look for, because we have bad players, and
Yeah.
I already see a lot of bad players in that space as well, who are not doing their due diligence, who are throwing money at the companies but not bringing a lot of value, and then they're ruining the businesses. And I've seen a lot of buybacks.
Yeah.
So company owner sells the company and then a year later buys it back. Give you advice too.
Yeah. So, I mean, we just feel very confident in what we've done, who we've talked to. We were friends with Jason. We were friends with King Quality and Jeff, and seeing what they've gone through and how it's been so beneficial for their company. I really can't speak to the negativity of other companies.
Sure.
But
But what to look for? Like,
Yeah.
how do you interview the equity firm? Because they want to interview you, but I would argue that the roofer needs to interview the equity
Yes.
firm.
So it's basically what you're looking for. Let's say you're 60 years old and you're done and you just went out tomorrow, and you don't care about, you know, I hate to say that, but maybe you don't care about the culture of your company or the people that you currently have in place, and you just want out. Well, maybe that's a good option for you. But if you do, if you want what's best for your people, you need to look for companies that have a longer term, a longer build process, so that your company and your people can grow with the company as they grow. And that was what was most important to us.
Old way of buying, selling companies using brokerage. Is it the thing of the past? Nobody uses brokerage anymore? Or
There's a few that we've dealt with that have brokers, or they have a financial advisor that's helping them through the process. I didn't. I hired a fractional CFO that just helped me get everything in line for the process, and then we walked through it. I do see a mixed bag there, but there are still brokers out there, yeah, and pushing to different platforms.
talk to me about confidentiality, because these companies are coming after roofers. They want to see the books, they want to see the data and everything, and a lot of these deals are not happening. So, how to protect yourself from sharing your finance? I mean, essentially, you want to keep it confidential. You don't want your employees even to know that you're considering to sell,
Yeah.
but you're sharing information.
So, with all of these, all the information that they initially ask from you is very basic. They don't do the deep dive until you get that letter of that LOI signed. So you're just giving basic information that you might just give somebody off the cuff in conversation. Yeah, I do this amount. This is my EBITDA. You know, they're looking for that information. Once they decide, yes, this is a company that I'm interested in, and you sign that LOI and those NDAs and you're good to go, then you really do that deep dive, that 60-day period. And it is, I'll be point blank, it's aggressive, and it's a lot of work, and it is a 60-day grind. But at the end, it is so worth it to see what you've built, and you know, something, the fruits of your labor come to fruition, and really be in a completely different position than you could even imagine. And now you're leaving it to somebody who you feel confident is going to take it and do the right things. You know, I deal mostly with Raj, who's the president of Vertex, and he's a man of his word. You know, there was a situation that arose within 2 days of closing, and I said to myself, no, this is what we thought was going to happen, and they said, well, no, this is what we thought. We immediately had a meeting, and it was resolved on the spot, and they said, yep, you're right, done, and it just was just taken care of. And you know, that gave me a lot of peace instantly, because I thought, oh no. And then immediately that we sat, we had the conversations. Yes, this is what we said. Yes, yes, yes. Boom, done. And we moved on. And, you know, that was just gave me solace in making the right decision.
What business worth more, retail or storm chasing model today, if there's any difference, or it's all just number based?
Yeah, retail.
Retail,
Yeah.
worth more?
With a storm, I mean, you could be 50 million one year and 25 million the next year and 70 million. It can be all over the map.
It's not
With
as
retail,
predictable?
A consistent retail business that's growing at a 10, 15, 20% rate on an annual basis is the company that we're looking for. A company that has longevity, that has excellent reviews, that's built a nice culture that we can take. We can take an MHI that has the culture and the systems and processes and grow it to 50 million in Pittsburgh, and then grow it to 50 million in Florida. And those are the types of companies that we're looking for.
What are the process for someone to talk to you, to Vertex, to get in your process to sell the company?
Yeah. Just they can contact you through the QR code. They can contact me direct. Just give me a call. We can chat. I like to have an initial conversation, just understand your business to a degree, and I can tell you real quick if it's a company they're interested in. One yesterday. Real nice company.
Can you describe the perfect company that you're looking for?
Yeah. So we're not looking for storm chasers. Okay. So we're looking for predominantly retail, but we understand too that there's markets like Minnesota and North Carolina that you're the biggest, baddest roofer in that area because you've been there forever, but you have storms. So we're looking for storm catchers. So not storm chasers, but a storm catcher will be okay. Predominantly retail and predominantly roofing is our.
Not a lot of siding guys.
Yeah. You could do siding. You know, you can have a section of your business that's siding and windows and gutters, but roofing is the focus, and we can really take our sales processes that multiple companies have in areas and really fine tune and grow you to exponential.
Love it. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Yeah, it's exciting. Thank you.